Hello. Anyone here? I don't think so. Doesn't look like we have anyone just yet. That wasn't what I meant to do. Great. Alrighty. Just getting things set up. I just got a stream deck, so I'm kind of messing around with that, figuring out how to use that. Realize I'm a little off center here. There we go. This. Am I blurry? I think I might be blurry. No, I'm not blurry. Don't know why it looks blurry in the stream. Might just be YouTube. Alright, then we want Chrome. Maybe I can find a way to use the Stream Deck to automate placing all my windows, getting everything set up correctly, because I use a different window setup for streaming than I do for coding. It's like everything gets moved around every time I jump on the code and every time I jump on the stream. I think we pretty much got everything. Yeah, let's install that update. Alright, looking good. Install and relaunch. Now, trying to remember, I installed an application for my key presses, and it didn't auto start. I don't think. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. No keycast. Why did you not start? I don't see it in my sidebar, so how am I supposed to make it start automatically? But now it is started. So now you can see my key presses on screen. Pretty handy feature. I figure it's useful. Looks like we might have somebody out there right now. How's it going? Just messing around, getting things set up for the stream. Got myself a stream deck, which is super duper handy, because now I can transition super easily. Switch between my scenes very simply. Very handy. I'm very happy with that. It seems to be working pretty well. I wasn't able to get the button to start the stream working, so I'll have to mess with that, figure that out, learn about that. So, but yeah, slowly getting things set up in a way that makes things easier for me. Yeah, there we go. Got it moved over here, right next to the camera, so it's a little bit easier for me to see what's going on, reach for it. Might even find uses for it, because you can do just about anything with it from what I understand, so I might be able to use it for like coding and stuff like that. It'd be pretty cool if I could just hit a button and have it switch over to my terminal and restart the server or whatever I'm doing, right? Pretty neat if I could get that to work. Very odd that doesn't have a restart or login. All right, cool. So yeah, I think for now, so long as we don't have anybody here in chat, here go. Trying to think, what do we need to get done with this right now? Got a lot of stuff going on. Alright, so we have a few different issues that we can work on. We got to create a Discord integration, which is for a few reasons, because we need to be able to announce when a submission has been approved. Like, when someone makes a submission, it's not going to get announced, but it's when it gets approved by mods, it will be announced. So we've got to work on that. I'm debating whether I want to work on that right now, or if I want to work on that tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow, so I don't have work. So I'll be able to get some stuff done. Actually, are there any pull requests? No, there aren't. Arian hasn't sent me anything. I think this is done already. Let's start it up. Let's start SMC. Oh, I see. Poetry, shell. There we go. Actually, we're gonna have another issue, but we might not bump into that right now. We should be, yeah, we're already logged in, so it doesn't matter. So if I go to challenges, I go to test challenge. So I've already got the page for individual challenges. So that is done. We can go ahead and mark that as completed. Where's there it is. Closed. Show submissions for the active challenge. I think I put a... Submissions on the homepage need to be... I'm going to go with they're not nice yet. They're not pretty yet. 5 days left. We're on the homepage. Yeah, they're just kind of like there. So we got to get that styling done. Not totally sure how I want them to be changed up too much. Like, I do have a design for that. If we go to issue 28, the design is there. This is how they're supposed to look. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done. I might launch just with the way it looks right now. Maybe I might add some spacing so you can tell the difference, because like if you look right now, they kind of run into each other. So like this is one submission, and then this is another submission. So they kind of run into each other, and the check it out button is like butting right up against the avatar image. So I might, I really could just add a line left to this, and it should drop it down over here and push this stuff over. Let's see. You can actually, this is one thing you can do. Like if you're trying to figure out how you want your CSS to look, you can, we're going to dock this over here. What you can do is you can jump right in here, and you can go to the image. You can go image, and then you can just mess with line. I don't know. Why does it keep... No. I don't want that. Excuse me? Is that non... I don't understand what's going on here. So text align is what I'm looking for. Left. Yeah, that didn't change anything. Might be because I don't know. Let me see. If I edit this image, I can add an attribute. Come on, let me edit the image. Line left. There. See, that brought it down. So we could do that. What did that do style-wise? It gave it a float left. Oh, okay. So that's how it's doing that. Float left. So yeah. I can do that, and then I could give the image a margin dash right. 1 point. Didn't do nothing. Why did that not work? Ah, well, you have to be able to spell if you want to code. Margin right. Didn't do anything. um, why did that do nothing? Maybe, let's try, I don't know. Then I'd have to apply it to both of these. If I moved the image out of the H group, maybe that might help. I don't think if I add a padding. Wait. Oh, it did work. We just had too small of a margin. I don't know why I thought 1 point would be enough. So there, you can do something like that. And like you see even that'll cause it to wrap around though, which is the one thing I really don't want. Yeah, it is slow. I didn't see your message, Arian. Thanks for the input. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to decide if I want. I don't think I'm gonna mess with it right now. I'll probably mess with it tomorrow. Maybe try to use something with Flexbox. Get these into their own divs and like have a, because the issue is I need a column here because I don't want this doing that. I don't want it going up underneath the image. And actually, if we like look at the design here, yeah. So yeah, the image needs to be the only thing over there to look correct. So I think tomorrow I'll probably mess with that. Do something with Flexbox, where I have a column and then a column, and then I got to get the votes moved from here, and I want them to be like up here in the corner. So that's what we're gonna have to work on. So I think I'm gonna deal with this mess tomorrow. Where's the? Let's go back. So that's the one we were just looking at. Add a leaderboard. Oh gosh, I gotta get the leaderboard working. I might work on the leaderboard first, just because that's probably gonna be a little bit harder. The Discord integration isn't gonna be that hard. Like honestly, it's not. The reason it's not gonna be super hard is because I'm just gonna use webhooks. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just use webhooks. I'm gonna generate a webhook in the channels that I want, and then I'm gonna set it in the virtual environment or in the environment variables. And then the application just have to call that webhook to send a message each time it needs to send a message. It's going to actually be fairly simple to do that. But yeah. Let's see. Try to see. Just trying to decide what I want to do here. Like the tricky part is like this is a super easy one to do, but to do it I have to create a webhook, and I don't want to accidentally reveal the webhook on stream because that would not be great. Add a leaderboard. So maybe we can work on the leaderboard. That's the thing. I didn't design this. with space for the leaderboard. So that's going to be a tricky bit. Is how do I squeeze a leaderboard in here? Because we're going to want to have the leaderboard on the home page. And there's actually going to be the leaderboard is going to be on each challenge too. It's like your active challenge is going to have a leaderboard. There's going to be two leaderboards. Two types of leaderboards. You're going to have your overall leaderboard, like who's gotten the most votes overall. And then you're going to have who has the most votes for this challenge. Didn't mean to do that. So I've got to have two different types of leaderboards. Trying to think here. How complicated is that going to get? Where do I want to squeeze it? Like, it's just literally got to be like a list of names, maybe. I'm trying to think how I want it to look. I think, actually... no, why are you up there? Back up. Alright, so we have this. Can I install that now? And have it just... Or is it going to take time? Ah, okay, so I shouldn't have clicked install now. Alright, there we go. Alright, it worked. It was real quick. Just wait for this thing to reload. Alright. I'm trying to think how we might organize these I'm trying to think how we might rearrange this to fit a leaderboard on here. What if we move this? Right there. And then we move this button. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate you joining you anyways. Move this over here. And then, actually, we had both of those selected. Didn't want to have both of those selected. Huh. Well, if you experience buffering, I don't know what's going on. YouTube is saying that my connection is poor, and I'm not sure what's causing that. Let's just run a quick speed test on the network. Check out the network and make sure it's doing okay. Wi-Fi. Telling me everything is fine with the mesh network. Let's run a speed test real quick. So let's see. If we take this button, we make it that big, then we can put this in the middle again. Post your submission. And then we can do leaderboard. I don't know why YouTube would be having a hard time getting my stuff. It's saying I'm out of curiosity. If I go to google.com, speed test, run speed test. Upload is a little bit slow. I'm not sure why it's so slow there. Upload is perfectly fine. Like that is what I'm paying for on my upload. Sad, I know. But so this is really low. That should be about double what it is. But I'm not downloading, I'm uploading to YouTube, so I'm not sure what's going on. It's alright though. Hopefully it's working well enough. Alright, so let's go back to this. So like if we do that, I don't like this button over here though. I don't like that up there. Trying to think. Because if this button gets moved over here, that's going to look kind of busy, honestly. You're going to have this bar right here, and then you're going to have the button underneath it. I don't like that. So, bring that down. And then seems a little far away, doesn't it? There we go. That looks better. So then we have the button there. That'll be over here still. And so that'll be centered over there. Vertically centered. Like the thing is, I I feel like this is gonna be fairly long, this text, because it's gonna have to explain this is what the challenge is, this is the instructions for the challenge. Like these are the things that you're expected to hit for each challenge. So I feel like this is gonna actually be fairly decently lengthy, but I don't know if it's gonna be lengthy enough to be able to squeeze in the countdown and a leaderboard. So I do think the leaderboard has to go underneath. I think there, that makes sense. We've got the leaderboard section. Um, Bob, Boberson. Oh, there's the train again. And then Joe. So two of them there. These are not going to be quite so large. And they're not going to be semi-bold. Regular. Oh no, we have a second Bob Boberson. What's the size of this? Oh, 16. 16 regular Poppins. There we go. And then we're going to draw a rectangle. And we'll have this. No, give me that. So there we go. I think that's how the leaderboard is going to end up looking. And like it'll probably show like the top 10 people. I'm trying to think if there's a better layout here. Um, don't know. Thinking about it here. Hmm. It's like there's also more leaderboard. Okay, yay! The stream is healthy again. I don't know what was wrong with it to begin with. Um. Hmm. 'Cause I don't like the leaderboard underneath. I feel like it gets lost down there. Um. What if we do? What if we do something like this? Let's move this out of the way. Right there for now. And then we take this and we put it right here. Get that out of the way. No, I didn't want to move it. I'll just shrink it. And you. There we go. Actually, we can bring these out a little bit more like that. So then we have the leaderboard there. Oh wait, these are beyond that, so we need to fix that. Um, so I think what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna take this down like that. And these are gonna go right like this. And then this is gonna come out here. Line it up with login. And then we're gonna put this right here. Line it up with Bob. Ooh, make that 24. No, we didn't want to resize it. And then we take this. Did I line that 20 up in the wrong spot? There we go, I did. Come on, line up in the right spot, please. There we go. Make this one. And then that is going to be 50. And send it back. Boom. Oh no! Why did it not duplicate? There we go. Suppose this can go right here. Yeah. I think that looks pretty good for the leaderboard. And then this goes right like that. Click the thing. There we go. Can you align to the container, please? Why is it not aligning to the container? There we go. That's good enough. Alright. And then, like, of course, this is gonna have... let's just duplicate these out. Why did it get rid of it? Stop doing that to me. So then you'll have a few other people there. So maybe I'll have like the top 4, top 5, I don't know. Why does that look a little bit wide? There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now we've got this down here. Trying to think how I might put that. What if we do this? Why is it not letting me resize it? There we go. No? Right align, make that. Align it to the top, please. There we go. And make that 24. 10. 10. Cool. Alright, cool. I don't want the resize. I don't know why it keeps giving me the resize. There we go. That might be good. There we go. Looking decent. I think that looks pretty good, right? Hmm. Let's see. I think that looks like probably the best design I'm probably going to come up with. Giving it a container makes this look like it's in place. Like, when there's no container, it just seems like a lot of empty space. I think like this, it looks pretty decent. Um, just looking at Discord real quick here. Um, how does that compare? Do we have everything here? Yeah, we do. Everything is there. We need to tighten this up. This needs to get moved down to the row below. So we're going to have a column, a section, and then we're going to have the submissions down below that. I think that makes sense. That actually doesn't look right just because the text is... So I think we need to center this. There like that. And I think these can each come down to like that. Ooh. Trying to think. Got an idea here. I think we'll leave it for now. I think that's decent enough for now. How far is that? 8? $60 gonna be too close? What if we make that 120? I think 120 looks better. Besides this. Yeah, that grabbed it for some reason. Come on. There we go. I think that looks decent right there. Let me... let's come back over here. Let's go over here. And then let me find that. Documents. Where exactly did I put that? Is it in here? I think so. Yeah, there it is. I think that looks good right there. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do because I'm gonna have to use I'm probably going to use Flexbox. So, like, I'm going to have to give, like, this one a weight so it gets the proper size. And then that's going to be there. I'll have to mess with Flexbox. I haven't messed with Flexbox, like, ever. Ooh, got mentioned on Discord. Let's see what's going on. Oh, just a bump reminder. See anything interesting happening on Discord? Discord question here. He's asking if actually, I'm gonna make that window bigger. Go away. Asking if they need to have this twice. And the answer to that is no. This is just creating a session for making requests. So you can set cookies, you can set headers, you can set different things that you want to be shared across each request on the session. I think you can even set up the session to remember cookies. And so that's all the session is for. So you can make any number of requests with the session. So you only need one, unless you need to have a different session for each request. Uh, any other interesting Python questions? Nothing there. Oh, big O question. Big O questions can be a little bit tedious. So many people are asking, they just don't understand what's being asked when you're looking at Big O. This looks like it's recursive, and there's a loop. So, and my num is trying to see how exactly are they doing this. My num, are they changing my num at all? Doesn't look like they're changing my num inside the loop. Um, I'm a little bit confused about this, and so like it's making me wonder if I'm losing my mind. Testing 2, 3. This should just grab one character. It does. So this right here is entirely bizarrely redundant. They just need to use the first bit, the I. They don't need the second bit because it's just grabbing one character. Interesting. So essentially what they're doing here is they're looping through the number given to the isHappy function. And they are like, why are they putting stuff into the result array? They're not doing anything with the array. All right, looking at their question here, the web says the recursive function is of O of 2 to the n time complexity. That's not necessarily true. It depends on the algorithm. It doesn't depend on the code. So you can have a recursive function that runs in O of n time. You can have a recursive function that runs in O of log time, like log n time. Or you could have it run in O of n to the 2 time. Like, it really it depends on the algorithm, and that's what Big O is calculating. What's the time complexity of the algorithm itself, not the specific code. So you're thinking about it at the algorithm level. What is happening? So it doesn't matter what the if statements are. It doesn't matter how many for loops you have. It's just looking at like what is going on inside the code. It doesn't matter what the for loop is looping from and to. Like, that doesn't matter at all. That's arbitrary. It just matters what is the algorithm when you put it down on paper. Like, what is happening? If you just sketch out the algorithm real quick and you don't punch in any values, you just put in a bunch of placeholder values. What is the complexity of the algorithm? And so here, O of 2 to the n, I'm trying to think why there might be O of 2 to the n. I'm trying to think if this algorithm is O of 2 to the n. And that's a little bit harder to work with, a little bit harder to reason. I'm not totally sure this even finishes, because this doesn't stop until we reach this else condition. So if the len of minum is not equal to 1, so if there's more than one digit in the number n, it does this bit. It does return from there, but that's recursive, so it's going to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper before it unwraps all of these function calls. Breaks up that stack of function calls you created. I'm trying to think here. Why would they say O of 2 to the n? What does O of 2 to the n even mean? For the given input, it's going to take the time of 2 to the n. Like, that's going to be a line going like that. That just gets larger and larger and larger. Like, you think it's going to be 2 to the 1 is 2, 2 to the 2 is 4, 2 to the 3 is 8, 2 to the 4 is 16. So like, each time it's doubling. So that line is getting twice as high with each increment of n. Is that what's happening here? Like, I'm not even sure how this gets to a finishing condition. The reason why I say that is, so let's say we put in 12, right? N is 12. It comes in here. It gets the first digit from 12, which is 1. And it is 1 times, it squares 1. And then we add it to summol, which is 0. So we get 1. And then we add 2, which is 4, so we get 5. So I guess it would exit. All right, so maybe it does exit because the digits of the number aren't going to... It's like you have a the magnitude of the number is going to be like 12 is a magnitude 2, like it's got 2 digits in it, right? You can't have. I'm trying to think. If I'm trying to. It's never going to be because like if you think of like 99, and then you do 99 through this, it's going to do 9 times 9 is 81, and then it's going to add that. So that's actually going to go to triple digits. So it sometimes is going to go up in magnitude. And sometimes it probably will come down. So like if you did 9 times 9, so 9 squared plus 9 squared, right? That's going to give us 162. And then we do 1 squared plus 6 squared plus 2 squared. And now we see it got smaller, and then we got 41. So then we do 4 squared plus 1 squared. Was it 41? I don't remember. Squared. So then it's 17. And then we do 1 squared plus 7 squared. And so the number went up, but now we've got 5 squared. And then we've got 2 squared plus 5 squared. And then we've got 2 squared plus 9 squared. So, like, alright. I'm trying to understand. I don't understand. This is a very complicated algorithm. I'm not sure. Like, I almost feel like this is an algorithm that you've just kind of like got to have memorized at that point, or you've really got to deeply understand the math that's happening here. Seems like an odd one to ask what the complexity is. I could imagine it's 2 to 2 to the n. Um, I don't know. Like, this is what I don't like about the big O notation. It's like, okay, sure, it's that thing, but no one's ever gonna really, like, you have to be so deep in the understanding of what's happening here before you can even come up with, I don't do it professionally right now. I want to be doing it professionally. Currently trying to work on a career change of sorts. Yeah, I just saw your question. I had another window in front of my chat, and I just realized it and decided to check chat. But yeah, I know Python at a professional level. I think I've been doing it for 16 years at this point. I don't know many people who know it better than I do. Like, there are certainly people out there who do. I do follow a lot of people on Twitter who know Python forward and backwards, who have been working with it a lot longer than I have. I follow a lot of the core devs. And I follow a lot of people who are really big in the Python community. But yeah, like, as far as, like, I've not personally met someone who knows Python better than me. In general, I'm able to throw together things that run faster, run slower, run better, like whatever you're looking for. Like, I can make it happen. And I don't know of many concepts in Python that I don't fully understand, or at least have a decent understanding. And I definitely know Python better than I know how this algorithm works right here. Yeah, let's see if. All right, so they've got a few questions here. This problem. There's a few questions here, so I'm going to address each of these questions separately. Um. Um, all right. Address that one. This one's a Django question. I'm not a fan of Django. I tried building a website with it, and it's just like you have to do so much stuff, and like I was able to get stuff working. Um, it's like I felt like configuration was being shoehorned into code, and I didn't like that. I don't like that. Like I like to have my configuration file that's separated out. I don't have to worry about there being any logic in there. It's just values. And so I don't like when that separation goes away. And Django likes to do that. Like this right here is more or less configuration, and it's in code. Like I understand this is like the paths stuff. Like they've got all of their settings inside of the Python file, and it's like, I don't care for this. And like I understand it does give you more power. You do that. Like if you need to be able to load values from a file, you're not shoehorned. You're not pigeonholed into using the framework or the config file library that the platform, the framework chose for you, which is nice. And you can do your own like validation. You can do your own environment checks inside of your config Python file, your settings Python file. I just personally don't like that. Like I don't want to have logic in my settings. Is what is a big deal. But yeah, what is this person's question? Why am I getting this error? My URL has to show slash with the post request about it. Change form. Seems like a simple fix to me. Like I don't understand anybody who'd be so uptight about their URLs that they all must end in a slash. Like I can't think of a reason why you would ever need that. Um there something going on? No, it's just that. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why you would need that necessarily. All right. Pokemon Go server. Yeah. All right. So we've answered a few people's questions. Hope we'll see if they get back to us. Put that back off screen. Boom. And back to this. All right. So we need to make a container for this. We need to create a container for this. There's actually going to be, I think, because this, I want to have this bit right here above this bit. So this and this should be at the same level, right? So they need to each be in their own container. And then this will be in its outside of that container. Probably in its own container. We'll see. We'll figure out how we're going to organize that. And then this is going to be its own container. And it's going to get a background color. To set it off. Make it look different. I'm going to have to... I just realized Arian has... SAS set up for CSS. So I'm going to have to get that set up. If we look at... Because we look right here. Should be a static folder somewhere around here. Static res homepage. Yes. It's like, see, you can nest your styles and it'll generate. Curious, is this minified? No, it's not minified. Yes. So see, like if you look here, we see we have time info and then it has time info that contains an H1 child. And then if we look over here, time info contains H1 child. Like when you build the SAS, it returns full-blown, properly crafted CSS. And then it does come with a source map, which is nice. This is used for debugging. So when you actually look at your... see if I can't see it. Yeah, right there. Trying to see if I actually inspect this. Yeah, here you go. Now you see right there, it says the homepage of SCSS. So that's what that map file is doing, because we're giving it styles.css. So, just by how it works, Chrome shouldn't know about this SCSS files because they're only in our dev environment. They're not going to be in production. Right now, they might actually be because of how this is all set up. Like we probably want to move this file. We want to probably move those. That's odd. Why is that showing it that way? Interesting. Is that the name of the folder? Weird. We'll figure that out later. But I've got to get that set up so that I can build the CSS. I can't do that right now. I'm not going to bother doing that right now. We can work on getting this restructured so that we have the leaderboard section over here, and then we'll have the days left section down here. This is going to get moved over there. So let me pull up. Let's make this go back over to the side. Bring her down. No, 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 no. Right, like that. You go away. There we go. Pretty cool. Um, and then what do I do next? I do um over here. Close all the stuff we don't need. Close up these. They only care about the templates. We don't want the admin. We just want the dashboard, the index, not the dashboard. Index. So here we go. We've got the submissions down on the bottom. We've got a section up here. This needs to go away. Body needs to go away. Why is section closed but never open? Is that in my header? Do I have a section? I don't. I have a main. And then that main gets closed in the footer. Yeah, that main gets closed in the footer. So we need to have a section ID active challenge. There we go. Let's bring up tower. Summer code. Remove unneeded body tag. And then add missing opening section. We're missing something. So let's pull. There we go. Yeah, if anybody's watching and they have any questions, feel free to ask. Like, that's what I'm here for tonight. Like, I'm here to answer any questions you might have. I'm working on code. I'm chit-chatting, but like the point of tonight is like we can hang out. You guys can ask questions, whatever's up on your mind. Let me know. I'm all for it. All right. So what do we need to do next? Next up, we've got like this time info. We've got this one that has no ID. I think what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And that, and get rid of that. Okay. So we're going to have the active challenge, which is going to be the entire thing. This is going to get moved up. It's going to become an H4. Right, like that. And we can already see we don't have it running. Great. And then we can do, boom, that. And now it's running. There we go. So now I've got active challenge up here. I've got test challenge here. And then that got bumped out somehow. Oh, I see. I see. This must have Flexbox applied. So we're going to have to adjust that. The Flexbox is going to get applied here, I believe. And then this will end up becoming a container. We'll probably give that like a full width. So it'll take up the full width. So it'll be above, right? And then we'll probably give like this container right here. Oops, I accidentally hit a key. This container right here is going to end up being like 2/3. And then we're going to have a div ID challenge leaderboard. We don't have anything there yet. Load. Actually a little bit confused as to why this is working that way. Why? I need to find an HTML linter. Hmm. So now we've got that working. Um, out of curiosity, is there like a real quick PyCharm build S6? I mean, we could set that up right now. Ooh, got a mention on Discord. See what that is. Okay. Uh, um, is Django really? Now I'm just a little bit confused. So, like, if we go home, then we go to challenges, there's no slash, and we see it got requested with no slash. And that one did get requested, but then it redirected to no slash. I'm not sure why. Because, like, if I go into my header, let's go into the header file, and then let's go to challenges, and let's add that trailing slash, right? What I find funny is Fast API redirected me to get rid of the slash, and they're having the other problem. They're having the problem of it's wanting to add a slash. So, like, my link is keeping the slash. So I'm confused why they would be. Well, let's get rid of that slash. I don't like having the endings. I don't like trailing slashes. Like, I just find it funny that Django is even worried about this. Just make them both do the same thing. Like, but I mean, that goes to show you that everything after the domain name is literally just a string. That's all it is. Um, it's not actually like a path or anything like that. You can put any symbols you want in there that are URL supported. Um, like if so long as they can work, as so long as they are symbols allowed inside of an HTTP packet, um, it's fine. Like you can put whatever you want in that path. All the little rules about like URL encoding and all that, that's just made up so that we can have URLs that follow a specific that are all very similar. Um, HTTP doesn't care. It's just another part of the HTTP data that's being sent. So yeah. Alright, what are we working? How are we working? Like the thing is, I don't want to set up. Like I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this right now. I don't want to deal with setting up and trying to figure out how to get SAS working, compiling SAS working inside of PyCharm, and making sure it's compatible with how Arian's doing it. So I need to reach out to Arian. Let me pull up Discord real quick. Wouldn't we lose the ability to request directories if slash was ignored? I mean, you're talking to a server. Like, at this point, it's not caring about the slash. The slash doesn't have to mean anything. It means whatever you tell the server it means. If you want it to mean something, sure. Ideally, you don't have it mean anything. I don't see why anything is concerned about the slash being there. Like, I guess maybe, like, it would be an interesting thing to play with and see, like, set up a server. Because right now I can't test anything on it because something is causing a redirect. Either Fast API is causing a redirect or Unicorn is causing a redirect. Because, like, you see, if I request it with a slash, it automatically redirects me to the URL without a slash. And so maybe it does have an impact on, like, the browser, like the browser caching or the browser history or something like that. And it would be interesting to play around with that and see if that might be the case. We actually, let me see. Syncio simple HTTP server. If we set up a simple Asyncio server, just take that real quick. Nope, that's wrong thing. PyCharm, scratch file, and then we do import Syncio. Yeah, well, so at the start of a string is slash, and then we're going to have any number of characters, one or more characters in the middle of the string, and a slash at the end of the string. Interesting. So it's replacing the first and last sections with just the middle section. So it's getting rid of the leading and trailing slashes. There's an easier way to do that. I'll show you it right now. Well, they got so much other stuff in here. But like, I can show you what I mean real quick. Like, we're getting rid of that one. This is stupid. There's so much other random garbage in here. But yeah, so like this right here, let's copy that out. And then we're going to do print 3.sub / hello world, right? And then we're going to do, let's get rid of this. And we run that. It's like, see, it returns hello world with no slashes. I had slashes on either end. But you can literally just do this. This will do the exact same thing. Right like that. Check that out. So you do not need re to get rid of leading and trailing characters. It can be any character you want. And actually, it will remove, like, we can have it get rid of the H, too. Like, that'll get rid of the H. We could get rid of we could do, let's do that. Like you see, like it's not actually getting rid of the string, it's getting rid of the characters in the string from the beginning and the end. So if it comes across any character at the beginning or end that is in that string, it'll remove it. So that's what that's doing. They did add in 3.10, I think, .remove prefix and .remove suffix, which does just the slash. So if I do remove suffix, or we'll do prefix. There we go, remove, and then we'll do HE, right? So that'll remove the HE, right? But if I do this, like I did with the strip, it doesn't remove anything, because this is just looking for the characters at the beginning of the string. They added this because everybody thought that's what strip did. And it does not. But yeah, so yeah, you can do that. Super duper simple. Can you go, is this just code, or is this going to be some crazy thing that does all kinds of stuff? I don't want that. No, go away. This looks like it's just a copy and paste. And it needs a package. I know there's a way to do it, just... Is this what we need? It's almost perfect. Why? Why does everybody have to be fancy with their stuff? Why? Let's do this, because I don't care about HTTP. I just care about where's the answer that has the actual. This is, I think, what we want. This should, in theory, do what we need. Make it PEP 8 compliant. There we go. Now we're PEP 8 compliant. And then we can do that. So now we have a server running on here. And if I go localhost, site can't be reached. So something exploded. All right. So it blew up. Where did it blow up? It blew up right here. Eval request. So it's trying to do something with the request. We're gonna do that. Got, if I could spell. We're just gonna keep the same. Connection reset by peer. So what's happening is this is not happy because this isn't actually responding the way it expects it to. So what we can do is we can do curl localhost received HTTP ODA 9 when not allowed. Interesting. If we Python import httpx dot get slash or localhost Legal status. All right, so or do I actually care? Maybe I do care about the because I want to be able to run it from the browser, so I do need an HTTP server, but I'm not going to be able to do that simply. Oh, okay. So it did respond. Never mind. It did respond. Like right here, you see in this error message, illegal status line, byte array, and it says get HTTP. So this right here is what HTTPX sent to us, and then I responded with got what it sent to us, right? And so what we can do is we can return status 200, right? How do we set the headers? HTTP status code header. Nope, I don't care about SEO. How do I make this work? Status line, status. Do you have an example? I think if we do 1.1 space 200, where was I looking? Oh no. 200, okay. Then slash n. Hello. We can do content type text plain. Right? Alright, so let's try that again. Oh, we gotta restart it. Stop and relaunch. Timed out. Alright. So we're making progress. It didn't explode. I think we need to do that. Stop and rerun. Same problem. So what do we have to do? Broken pipe. Timed out. Do we have to add a second line break? Because like what's happening is it's not stopping sending. Or this doesn't know it's received everything. So what is this looking for that it's not getting? Ooh, that worked. Curl worked, see? And it actually gave me back the 2 line breaks, so that isn't the thing we're worried about there. Stop and rerun. Then we do that. It's already in use? What do you mean already in use? Hold on. We'll do 56. We'll just create a new one. Okay, so it's not gonna finish because it doesn't have the line breaks. Stop the server, and then so we have to. Do we just do one new line? Oh, you know what? I know why. Content length, and that is going to be 5, 6, 11, right, like that. That, in theory, did we stop the server? We can start the server. And then we can request it. There we go. That exited immediately. So then if we come over here and we go localhost 155, there was 5. 3 of them. There we go. We have served up a hello world to Chrome, right like that. Super duper simple, right? Now, if we do, we can do method and path equals request dot partition on space, right? So that should give us a method. Message equals message len message and then we can do hello world or like that, and then we can do method I can't. Is my keyboard off center or something? Because I keep hitting the wrong buttons. And then method and path like that. And we have to add that, C, Control R. Method get path. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of headers in here, right? That it sent us. So that isn't it isn't just what that first bit. So like what it's sending is it's sending the method, it's sending the path, it's sending the HTTP version, it's sending the requesting host, so that's the domain that we put in and the port that we put in. And then the user agent, which is what's it requesting, and the content type that it will accept. So you pretty much have to parse out all those HTTP headers right there to get the information you want. But this will let us do, whoops, didn't want to do that. This will let us do a real quick experiment. Like here you can see, these are the headers that Chrome is sending for the request. So it's sending the /URL, HTTP 1.1, sending the host, it's sending connection keep alive, it's sending cache control, max age 0, it's sending some security. Interesting. So, and then I don't know what half of this stuff is. These are all different headers that it's sending in the request. Upgrade insecure request. So that's like it's saying, hey, I want to upgrade from HTTP to HTTPS if you can do that. So that's what all that's doing. But then if I were to go like foo, now we see that got requested right there with foo. And then if we do this / it now shows up with the /. And if I go back, okay, yeah. So Chrome is treating that / as a different page in the history, which is what I wanted to see. Because this server right here is incredibly simple. It doesn't do anything except repeat back the headers that it received. And we can better received, and we can actually make this HTML or text. We can send the content text HTML, and then we can do received. We'll do it as H2, and then we can put this inside of a key. And that will be request key. And then we'll put this inside of an H1. An H1. Now, we are missing something. Why is it not stopping it correctly? Whatever. So we'll just create another. Use a different port again. Run that one. And then we gotta come over here and we do 57. Boom! And there we go. Now we have, and you know what we'll do? We can put this in a pre. Right, like that. Stop the server. Start the server. And then if we reload that, now it's nicely formatted. So now we can send HTML, and we can see the method, we can see the path that was requested. How do we do a curl post? Curl post examples. I know that it ever loads. There we go. Post. Cool. All right, so we can set headers and all that stuff. So we should just be able to do 7/posting, and then we do X post, and then we get back received. So there, you see it says post, and that's the method posting. Does it show? So then we should be able to like set a body on it. Like now we're just playing around with HTTP at this point, right? So if I go up here, boom, boom. Oh, goofed up somewhere. And boom. There you go. Now you see, like right here, we have the headers. So we have post, posting, HTTP type, and then we have host, we have the user agent, accept type, the content linked. That's going to be the payload size. This bit right here, how many characters is that? How many bytes does that take up? 34. And then the content type, which is going to be application form URL encoded. That just tells us like, hey, the content that's being sent is this. And then there's 2 line breaks. One empty to get one empty one. And that tells the server, hey, here's the body of the HTML or the HTTP request. And then that's where all of the post data goes. So yeah, pretty fancy, pretty neat, pretty handy. So yeah. But yeah, so that is correct. Yeah. What's happening is Chrome, well, the web browser will treat that trailing slash as a different URL. And that comes down to the fact that all that a URL path is, the path portion is this string right here inside of the first line of the HTTP request. So the first line of the HTTP request is going to be the method. The last part of it, it's going to end with the version of HTTP that's being used. And everything in between, with a preceding space and a following space, is going to be the path. And that can be anything you want. Now, keep in mind, it's going to have a space, and then there's going to be a new line at the end of that line. So you can't have either of those things inside of this string. But other than that, it's going to be more or less, I think it's like UTF-8. Anything that's UTF-8 can be in that string. So let's see. We might be able to test that out a little bit. Let's try this. Let's do this. Will it explode if we put a smiley face in the URL? And it did not. There we go. We have a smiley face in our URL. And now notice it has that leading slash. I don't know if curl will let me get away with this. Yeah, it doesn't let me. So curl, there's a certain element of the path that is absolutely necessary, and that is the leading slash. So every path must start with that leading slash. Otherwise, like you could build a client that makes requests without that leading slash. That's not part of HTTP. That's just how we've defined URLs to work. You can build a server. What I'm saying is you can build a server and you can build a client that don't follow those URL patterns because HTTP doesn't care. It just cares that there's no space and there's no new line inside of that path. Inside of whatever you want to call this right here. That little section of the request header. So yeah, that's what's happening. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. That trailing slash does have meaning. It does matter to the browser, to anything requesting. I don't care for Django questions. Just personally. That's just me. Let's see if we can't help. Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm not sure. Like, the issue isn't necessarily with their Django. It's with whatever's making the request. Because they're saying that it's not. Like, if we scroll back up, like, they say, why am I getting this error? My URL has the trailing slash. But post requests the URL without it. Let's look at their HTML. Let's see if they can get it up here pretty quick, because I want to end the stream real quick here in a second. So if you've got any last minute questions, it's kind of been a rambly, all over the place stream. I'm a bit tired today. Had a long day. And I'm just not super focused on code right now. I had fun putting together a really simple HTTP server. Not sure why it keeps yelling at me about broken pipes, but hey, it sends valid HTTP response headers with a valid HTTP response body, so we can actually view it in Chrome. So yeah. And yeah, like if we wanted to send like a file, we could totally do that. We could change this to application JSON, we could change it to image PNG, we could do whatever we want. We can send anything. You just change that, and then you set the content length to however many bytes are inside message, and you just make sure you have 2 new lines after the last header, and then everything after that is going to be whatever you want to be sending. So if you're sending a file, you put that after that second new line. If you're sending JSON data, you put that after that second new line. And then after anything after that second new line is going to be your payload, whatever you're sending, whatever you want the user to download or see. Everything before that is just headers and information about your response. So if you have any cookies, they're going to go in here. Anything like that. So you can set a cookie. I'm not totally sure how cookies get set. I would have to look up how that header looks. Cookies are just a header. That's all they are. They're just a header that gets set here and that gets sent back to you right here. Out of curiosity, cookie header format. Let's see if we can't cookie HTTP. Ah, there it is. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. Like, watch this. All right, we're going to do this. Let's stop the server real quick. And we're going to set a cookie in this header. /n cookie Bob. Why Bob? I don't know. So now we've set a cookie, right? We can get rid of that. That's wrong. And then if Did the server stop? Yes, it did. We restart the server. There we go. And then we come back over here. And if I reload this, because the first time I request, it's going to not have a cookie. It's like there's no cookie set in here. Now if I reload again, it still has no cookie set in there. Interesting. I'm not sure why the cookie did not set. Maybe we missed something. Set cookie maybe we have to do. We have to use set cookie. And it works basically the same way, but you have extra information you can set on it. So cookie is how it's going to get sent back to us, I think. I just have to do that, and it'll work. So if we stop the server, restart the server, and then we come back over here, the page isn't working. Why is the page not working? Sent an invalid response. What do you mean an invalid response? Like, what? I'm confused why. Is that it? Is it as simple as that? That pie charm screwed my stuff up? Maybe that's all it is. Let's see, we'll find out. Refuse to connect. Why are you not running? Run! Address already in use. Pie charm, why are you doing this to me? So then if we go up here... How did I manage that? How did I end up switching tabs? Trying to change the path. There we go. Boom. Alright. So there's no cookie set here. And there we go. Connection cache control. No cookies. Not sure why it's not setting the cookie. I want the cookie to be set. Oh well. That's essentially how you would do it. It's just a header that gets set inside the that you set. And then it would get sent back to you right here, but I'm not sure why it's not. Might have something to do with this connection reset by peer. Not sure what's going on there, but yeah. Discord, where are you? Oh, there's the HTML. So we have a form. Method post. What we don't have is an action. And the action is going to be the URL that it goes to. I bet you the form method equals post and button name Bob. PyCharm is just going to be a pain in my neck, isn't it? So what we're going to do is this. So when the line gets too long, it wraps it. And I need to disable that in settings. It's the biggest pain in my neck. And then we're going to do button name equals Bob. Bob. Value equals Bob. Because I'm inside a string, I can't. Bob. Button. And then close the form. That. Oh, kill it. Restart it. Come over here. Now we have a little form button. And clicking it keeps us on the same page. So I'm not sure what would be redirecting them away from the slash. Oh, cool! You're in stream. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, because you don't have an action set on the form, so that means it's going to submit to whatever URL you are at. So the fact that it's submitting to the URL without the slash tells me that the URL of the page doesn't have a slash. What web browser are you using to test this in? Like, if it might be the web browser, it could be, like, are you seeing the trailing slash in your browser's address bar? I think that might be worth checking, because like you saw, you're using Chrome. Okay, so Chrome's not doing it. Do you see the trailing slash in the URL bar? In the address bar? Because that's what the form is going to submit to. And like you see, I just did the thing where it worked. It's working. I'm actually curious. This isn't actually sending any data. Input name message. Stir up. Interesting. I see what's happening. Maybe the cookies are getting set. But what's happening is it's only receiving that 46. Oh, we gotta restart. Aha! There's the cookie. Would you check that out? Cookie Bob equals Bob. We just weren't receiving the full packet from the server. I don't know if you sent a link. Links get blocked in YouTube's chat. At least I have it disabled because the comments have been not family safe. Let's say that. Yeah. So yeah, there we figured out a lot of stuff here. And then there's our message. So now we have message equals hello, because that's the text I entered. And then the value, the name and value of the button is Bob equals Bob. How are you? And we can submit that, and we see there we got how are you inside the body. And it keeps setting the cookie for us. Pretty fancy. And there's a bunch of cookies actually getting set here. I'm not sure why we're getting a Grafana session cookie on my local. Oh, I know why. The reason why I'm getting a Grafana session cookie is because the cookies are being set on localhost, right? And I accessed my Grafana on localhost. I port forwarded it from my Kubernetes cluster to my local machine on localhost. And so that's why there's a Grafana session ID from our other project that we're working from the Summer of Code project. And then we've got Bob equals Bob down there as well. Okay, so you're not seeing a slash at the end of the URL. So that's why your form is submitting to that URL, submitting to the URL with no slash. I'm not sure if you put the URL in with the slash manually, what happens? Does it redirect to the page without the slash? What you're seeing in your Chrome URL, the address bar in Chrome, is what is going to be sent. And if that changes, that's changing because the server redirected Chrome. And you can actually see that. Like if I let's restart. Let me go this way. If I restart this, right? Because you see where I have. Let's go like this. Localhost 8000, right like that. Okay. So like you see, it made the request. There's no slash, and then I do challenges, and then if I go to slash, it redirects. If I pull up the dev tools, right, and I put that on the bottom, and I go to network, and I click, we should be able to see where am I? Oh, there we go. Preserve log is set, right? Go away, and then we can put the slash back, and then request. We got 2 requests there. Right now it's only showing me fetches. Show me all, please. So see, it requested challenges with the slash. Close this. It requested challenges with the slash and got a status 307. That's a temporary redirect, which you can see happened right here. It happened right there. And it sends me back to here. So like if you look at the payload on this right here, we preview headers, response headers, location, HTTP without the slash. So the server is telling Chrome. So yeah, your server is redirecting you back to the page without the slash. I'm not sure why Django is doing that. Are you using Unicorn by any chance to run Django? What server are you running Django on? It might be a setting in that server that is redirecting all URLs to the URL without the slash. I'm not totally sure. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I can find a way. You know, let's see. We jump into SOC, apps, site.py, and I go, all right, I have create app. We need to jump in there, and we go to fast API. This is my app, and it should have a dunder call right here. Here's the dunder call. So if I actually change this, I'm going to just copy this line right here. We're going to do something interesting. We're going to, I'm going to do this. We're going to do that. Or actually, no. We're like this. And then we're going to do site equals site, and then site equal, or we're going to have async. Did I copy that whole line? Yeah, I did. And then site. So this is going to be, that's going to break it. We have to put this at the end of the file. Got to get this right. Here we go. So basically, I'm attempting to override my app. And then we have scope, we don't care. Receive, we don't care. Send, we don't care. We're going to do this. And then we're going to do return, await, site, scope, receive, send, right? And I'm going to do, that's not what I meant to do. I was meaning to do something, I don't know what it was. I think we're good there. And then we're just going to do this. We're going to print out scope and receive, right like that. And I'm going to, just to make it easier to identify them, I'm going to put that right there. Now, if we close this and we reopen it, and then we make a request, something exploded. Missing one required positional argument, send. Oh, I see. Right like that. We goofed up. Accidentally had an extra argument. Application startup failed. Exiting. Something must be accessing site. What is accessing site? A better idea here. I've got a better idea. So we get rid of this, right? And we're going to call this app. And then we're going to do... So this won't break any of the code. And then we just come over here to Dunder main. And we change... app. Right like that. So now we just change where it's looking for the app. So there we go. Now we see we have that information right there. And then we get a bound method as a version spec, right? Okay. Interesting. All right. So this might not be functioning the way I thought it would, but we'll experiment. Oh no, there it goes. It worked. Right? Did it work? Yeah, it did. So it sent us a bunch of information. We got this information right now. Let's see if we can't select that, and then we'll format it in a way that's easier to read. Scratch one. Boom. We're gonna have a problem, so I gotta scroll down here. Oh god, that was a lot longer than I thought it would be. Pound. And then x equals import pretty print dot print x. There we go. Now we can read that. This is what we're getting. We're getting ASCII server, client, scheme, method, root, path. So we got... Oh, okay. This is a request that I didn't want to see. What I wanted to see... So what I can do is, let me just change that now. Because I want to see scope, path, right? Yeah. We want scope, path, right like that. That's all I care about. Then we're going to restart it. We're going to start her back up. And now, if I go to /, we get to see... Okay, it did get through to Fast API. So Fast API is doing the redirect. Redirect to the blank page. No, I don't know what that is. Basic settings, run server through command prompt. Get this /. Yeah, your get is fine, but then you're getting back a 307, aren't you? Like when you look at the requests here, it's like you see I have this one right here with the / and it comes back with a 307 temporary redirect. That's what I'm imagining is happening. If you open up Chrome and you tell it to preserve log, and you go in and you change that header, does it do it like that? Is it redirecting you, is what I'm asking. I'm pretty sure it must be, and that's going to be coming from Django. It appears for me, Fast API is doing that redirect, which is fine, just as long as you're aware that it's happening. I'm not sure why Django would be doing a redirect on you automatically. That is contrary to a setting you have. That's going to break a setting you have. Your alternative. This is your alternative. You could, inside your form, if we go back to Discord, Discord right here. So inside your form, I'm not sure which form you have here that's causing the problem, but like you don't have an action type. we can set an action type. Let me come back over to Scratch 2. Because right now, this right here, this form is submitting to the URL that the page is at right now. I'm going to now set the action type to form page, and then C, Control R, Control C. Why are you being like this? Switch 2. So now we're running again. And then I can come over here. And now, if I do, because like before, if I reload this, like before, you see it stayed on foo. Like it didn't go somewhere else when I submitted that form. This should go to form dash page slash form.page, right? And then we submit it, Bob, and then there we go. We see the URL changed to form.page dash page. So you can set an action to have whatever URL you want in it. I can't promise you it's not going to get redirected on you. But it shouldn't because it's a post method. And so I would suggest trying that. If you want it to go to the same page, set the action to the URL of the page that it's on. And that should force it to have the slash. That's the best I can tell you right now. It seems like Django is redirecting without the slash. Django, redirect, remove, slash. Like, let's see what this answer here says. Make it a little bit bigger. By default, append slash true. If Django cannot find a requested URL, say about, then it looks for the same URL with an appended slash. So what that's telling me is, like you were saying you were using append slash, right? Yeah, you were using append slash. So you should be able to So what was the question? Let's see. I'm not sure. Why am I getting this error? My URL has the trailing slash. Post request bit. Oh, okay. I see. I see. So what's I think happening is your form right here, because this, I'm assuming this is where you're submitting to, right? That has a slash on it. Okay. I'm not sure why the slash is getting removed, but the reason why it's giving an error is because there's no slash on your URL. And you've defined the URL in the patterns with a slash. So when Django can't find a path that has no slash, and you have append slash true, it attempts to find a matching path with the appended slash. And when it finds it, it tries to redirect there. And that's what's giving the error message, because you can't redirect a post. And I'm not totally sure. I'm not super familiar with Django, so I'm not totally wrong thing. I wanted this. I moved it. Let's get back to PyCharm, so we're not blinding ourselves. So I'm not totally sure how you fix it. Very odd. Hmm. But like, I'm a little bit confused looking at your code here. Let me see. It shouldn't be anything wrong with your view. This is everything is. You haven't even got to your view at this point. Your view has not run because what's happened is, what's happening is the request is hitting the server, and Django is attempting to figure out what view to use by looking at your paths. So it's going through your URL patterns, looking for one that matches the requested path, okay? So that's the writer post, this bit right here, the writer post API. That's what it's trying to find something that matches that, and it's finding it right here. For some reason, something is stripping off your, wait, hold on. Repath. Interesting. Okay, this right here would make me think, because like it's going through this list, and here's your view, right? It's trying to figure out which one of these to use, which view to use based on these. And currently, you're not getting to the view because it's saying, hey, I found a matching path that has a view, but I need to redirect you first. And I can't because it's a post. I'm wondering. I don't have Django installed, and it would take a lot more to get it set up. But I'm wondering if this right here, because this repath is going to match. What is it going to match? It's not going to match the thing I'm thinking. It's going to match something different. It's going to match writer post all lowercase. And then it's going to send it to the same view as writer post API, which is what you're posting to. Do you know if there's a reason why you have a repath that matches a different path and redirects to the same or use the same view? I would double check the tutorial. Is it a video tutorial? Or is it like a web tutorial? Like a web page. If it's a web page, you could send the link on Discord. You can't send it here. And maybe we could figure out from there and see if maybe you missed a step somewhere along the way. Because that's all I can think right now. Looking at this. Because I'm looking at your paths, how they're defined. It is a YouTube tutorial. Alright, so I don't know that we can necessarily... That would take a little bit more effort to get through to make sure. I would just say go back a few steps, see where these URL patterns are defined. Make sure you copied this line out correctly, because I'm a little bit confused why it would be different than this line right here and have the same view. Then this one has the same view as well. So I'm not sure. What does this writer post API view look like? Maybe it is impacting something. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with Django. But yeah, you might want to use the more recent tutorial then, because you might be running into issues where they are doing things that are outdated, but that kind of still work, and they're just not accounting for new behavior in Django that's doing things that don't necessarily play well with the code that they wrote for an older version. Maybe in the past, Django didn't remove slashes, and now it does. And that might be causing a problem. So I would say try and find a newer tutorial if you can. I know that can be a little bit difficult, Um, and just see if that might fix it. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. Definitely for sure, you can set the path, the action on your HTML, like I showed right here. Like you see right here, I set the action, and that's just the URL that I want it to send to. So I can change that. I can have a trailing slash. I can have a trailing slash. Like I don't. It's up to. I can decide how I want it to work, and that'll change it from just using the URL in the address bar to whatever the action is set. The action will override the whatever's in the URL bar. So that's probably the most direct and straightforward approach you could use. Like I said, I don't know what's removing the trailing slash. And it seems like something definitely is, because it seems like it's redirecting you when you add it. But I'm just not sure what would be doing that. Yeah. I would also say you probably don't want to be posting to the same URL that you're at. Ideally, you want to post to some other page and then redirect to like a success page or whatever. Just to make the browser work a little better. Because like if you see on this project right here, if I go back and then I submit and then try to go back. Oh, it did work. I don't know why why are you working? Whatever. Never mind me. Interesting. But sometimes it'll tell you like you've posted data and you can't go back without resubmitting or whatever. Oh, I think that might be it. If I go now to foo, and then I go back. Nope, that didn't do it. I don't know. Not letting me demonstrate the thing I want to demonstrate. But yeah, so in general, I wouldn't typically post to the same page. But whatever works for you. And like I said, if you've already had issues with it using deprecated code, I would probably steer away from that tutorial just because it's likely not going to be all updated. Using action. Okay, so I don't know. What exactly the result does it give you when you do that? Is it giving you the 404? Then maybe you need to add the append slash to true again. Is it giving you the error message saying that you can't be redirected because it's a post? In that case, something is removing your slash again. I don't know what would be causing that. Yeah, I don't know. It's an odd situation. I'm not sure, and I'm leaning towards there's something that's being done in a way that isn't compatible with modern Django in the tutorial, and that's breaking things. Runtime error on redirect. Okay, so you're getting. Let me see if I scroll back up here. Runtime error. So you're getting this error message again. This one right here. I don't know what to tell you there. Alternatively, you could set append slash equals false. And in your where'd it go? Right here, add a second one of these without a name, right? That doesn't have a slash. So like just duplicate that line. Duplicate this line right here. Remove the slash and remove this last little bit that says name equals writer post. Remove that. And try it then and see if that works. Because then you will have a route, you will have a path that doesn't have the slash, so it shouldn't want to redirect you. And then you could set the trailing slash to true again. So yeah, I would say if you want to continue with the tutorial, that's what you might have to do is just add that path. I don't think you honestly have any great options right now, just because you said like the tutorial is using deprecated code already. So who knows what little things are going to be wrong or right. And like what solutions that you use are going to be just slightly wrong because you have to do something slightly different than what you might have needed to do in the past. Yeah, that's the hard part. Things update and they add new features and they change how features work. And for every version, people are creating tutorials and they're creating explainer videos and they're creating blog posts that are all using the current version that in 5 years, 2 years, 1 year are out of date and aren't necessarily accurate and aren't necessarily correct anymore. Yeah. So I hope that helped you, and hopefully you can figure it out from there. So this is the view. Okay, all right, I see. Interesting. So you do have, based on what I'm looking at here, and looking at your view, this right here and this right here are identical. They're going to the exact same place. This one is just using the path writer post. So you would do / writer post and no trailing slash. And then this one is doing writer post API with a trailing slash. So your path is going to be / writer post API / and they both go to the exact same page. And they both do the exact same thing. And I'm not sure why that's the case. I'm not sure why you would have two different URLs going to the exact same page. And then this one is using the same view function. It's just giving it an ID. And like you can see that in your view, you have the ID. And so like when it's not set and the ID isn't set, it just uses 0. And then you're checking for a method equals get, method equals post, method equals put. Very interesting. Like this strikes me. I'm going to strongly recommend which line is giving you a JSON parse error. If you're using a form, you can't use JSON response because a form is going to give you an application like right here. You'll see right here. Where'd it go? If I do this, boom. It's like here we have post type and then content link, content origin upgrade, content type. Content type right here is going to be set to application x www form URL and code. And that looks like this right here. So I have two values. I have message equals how are you, and then there's a space, and then or a semicolon, and then there's and an ampersand, and then there's Bob equals Bob, right? So there's two values in that form, okay? That is not JSON. If this was JSON, if we were sending JSON, you would see the JSON down here, and you would see application content type right here. We can actually see that if I go over to here. We'll close that. Let me pull up Python. We'll import HTTPX, right? And we'll do httpx.post, and we'll do http localhost 15.8, and then we're going to do test JSON, right? And then I think I can do JSON, and then hello world. Let's see if I'm remembering how to do this correct. Okay, we got a response 200 OK, right? We need to actually print that out. So let me grab the response. R equals R dot content. There we go. All right. So now we see we got hello world received, right? And then let's do this. Let's grab this. We're gonna break this HTML. And then here, edit as HTML, and paste that, and enter, and exit, right? So all right, so this is what we got back, okay? We got post, yada, yada, yada. down here, it has all the slash ends. So just a second. We're going to do this. We're going to do dot decode. Boom. So that's still going to have all of the... It is. So I want to do print. We'll get it eventually. There we go. That looks normal. Then we're going to take that, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to break the HTML. Edit as HTML. Boom. Boom. There we go. So now you see this is what happens when you post application, when you post JSON data. You get the JSON in the body, and you get the content type application JSON, right? So you can't use a JSON response when you do a form. You have, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can figure out for you. Django, form response. We're working with forms. Let's see if we can't scroll through this real quick. There's a form. Name form. Yeah. So they're doing, like, I would say, look at this page right here. I'll drop it in your Discord channel. And this is going to tell you more or less how to work with a form. And like right here, you're seeing you're getting the requests. Like you have your view getting request right here. Okay. You need to create a form object. Like you see that happening right here. So you have to set all of your form fields. It's like all of your inputs, anything that has a name right here. And you tell it what kind of field it is. And then you load that up by giving it the form data. And I think that's just like right here. Yeah. So this is how you create that. And then you can check if it's valid, and then you can access values on it just by doing like, so like right here, they're calling it form, so then it has a your name. So you could do form.yourname to get the name out of it. Like if you have any questions about that, like show us the code, ask on Discord. I just sent the link in the your Discord channel. And so that's how you got to work with forms. Because it's not going to be JSON data. I'm not sure why you have it's using JSON response here. Like if you're following a tutorial and they told you to create a form and then they told you to use JSON response, I'm a little bit confused there because that doesn't make any sense. Like that just isn't how HTML forms work. They don't send JSON. So yeah. I'm definitely going to strongly suggest you try and find a different tutorial. It's a little bit newer. This one's doing some odd things. I don't know how much you've deviated from it, but like right now it doesn't look like it's doing a great job of helping you out. I wish it could be more helpful for you, but yeah, it's a little odd. I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, the issue that you're running into right now. So we did solve the other issue. The URLs weren't working. But now you're running into the issue of you're getting XML, you're getting HTTP form data, and you're trying to treat it as if it was a JSON response. Or I don't know. I'm very confused. Yeah. Actually, I'm looking at this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. What line did it say is giving that issue? Like, what line of Python code? Like, which line specifically? Because now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I'm wrong. Because this is the JSON response. So that's what you're sending back, which is correct. So never mind me. I'm wrong on that part. I'm trying to see inside post. And all right, so here's the line that's causing the problem. This line right here. So this line right here needs to be replaced with what's in this article. Okay? So where they're doing So right here where they're doing form equals name form request.post, you're going to create your own form object. So this section right here, the form class, under the heading the form class, you're going to create your own form, which has all of your input fields inside your form, okay? And each one is going to have the name inside your HTML. So like if I think you had your HTML here. So you have your rows, form, text area. All right, so you have multiple forms. You don't want to do that. You want to have one form with all of your items inside, all of your inputs inside of it. And then you're going to take this ID, I believe, and you're going to make that the name of your form field, right? These are actually designed to be a lot more powerful than that. Like it'll build the form for you, but you're not going to worry about that right now. You're going to get rid of all of these. I really don't know why there's all these are in here. Like this isn't necessary. This isn't necessary. You should only have one form tag, right? Like that. Okay. And then all of your inputs should be inside of that. I'm not sure why it's set up the way it is. But yeah, so like look at this, figure out how, if you can read this article, it should get you on the right path. And get you in the right direction. But yeah, so this line right here is going to replace this line right here inside that elif request.method equals post. You're going to change the writer post data equals JSON parse. You're going to replace that line with that line, but you're going to replace the form, that part right there, with this value right here. So, because you want to keep that variable name. Yeah, you don't want to do that because each form is going to get only what's inside the form that contains the submit button is what's going to get submitted. So if you have other input elements inside of other forms, they're not going to get submitted. So they all have to be inside the same form. If you want them in separate sections, use like divs or section tags, something like that, and then that would be how you would divvy them up. That's how you would break them up like that. You'd use a different tag. We can work you through that inside the Discord thread. Because I do need to get dinner. I have to stop and get dinner. I normally only do this stream for about 2 hours, and we're approaching 3 right now. So I'm happy to help you, though. We're definitely happy to help you. Like I said, let us know in the Discord any further questions you have. And like I said, you're just going to replace that with writer post data, where it says form, and then you're going to take this piece right here, and you're going to replace this piece with that. But you're going to give this your own name. So there's a few steps you've got to follow there to get it working. And the issue is that your request is giving you an HTTP form, which is formatted differently than JSON, so you can't parse it as JSON. And that's where you're getting your error message. And you're going to have that same problem right here under method put. And let's see. It doesn't look like you're going to have that problem under delete. So it's just under put and it's just under post. The good news is both of them should be fixable in the same way. I don't know if maybe the tutorial has some JSON, JavaScript that's supposed to go with it, which is going to handle the form submission. That would fix that because then they would send JSON data instead of the form data. That's where that might come into play, but I don't know. I haven't followed the tutorial. I don't know what tutorial it is. Maybe listen ahead a few more steps and see what happens, see what they talk about. Make sure you didn't miss a step where you're supposed to include a JavaScript file or something. Like, do you have JavaScript? Let us know in the Discord channel. Yeah. All right. I'm going to call it a night. I hope I think I gave you some good directions. I think we should be able to get you on the right track. Just try out a few things, read through that article, see what that says. Make sure, like I said, make sure there's no JavaScript that you're missing that's supposed to be there. And make sure your forms, you have just one form with all of your inputs in it. So this way they all get submitted together. All right, sounds good. All right, I was glad I could help you out. And yeah, let us know in the Discord if you got any other further questions. And if you are watching this video in the future or now, and you're not a member of the Beginner.Code's Discord server, be sure to check it out in the description down below. We're a growing server. We're over 8,100 members, but we still have a smallish server feel. It's not the most active chat channels, but there are some people to talk to. If you want to talk about code, we're always happy to talk. We love to talk about code. And then we have a lot of help channels. We help a lot of people every day. We try to help out with as much as we can, whenever we can. So yeah, check out the Discord server if you're not already on it. I stream most Sundays, most Wednesdays, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sundays typically at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I generally skip out on Sunday the most because that's when I hang out with my family the most. So yeah, I will see you most likely this coming Sunday. Watch my Twitter, watch Discord. That's where I announce everything. I announce everything on Discord. I try to announce stuff on Twitter. I often forget. I'm not the greatest. I love to follow my Twitter and follow people on Twitter and read things on Twitter. I'm not so great about posting stuff on Twitter. But yeah, all of my links are down in the description below. You all have a great night. You all have a great day. You all have a great week. I will probably see you Sunday. If I don't see you Sunday, I will definitely see you next Wednesday. All right, y'all have a great night.